Hello, and welcome to this short introduction video for the recruitment competition for the Office of Sheriff. The Judicial Appointments Board for Scotland, which I'll refer to as JABS, has been asked to make recommendations for 4 roles. My name is Liz Burnley and I'm a lay member of JABS, and I will also be the panel chair for this competition. What I plan to do now is to make a few introductory remarks about the competition, including who the panel members are, the roles for which we'll be recommending, and our expected timetable. So the panel for the competition will comprise of 4 members of JABS, 1 judicial member, 1 legal member, and 2 lay members. So in addition to me as the chair, the panel comprises Sheriff Principal Dowdall's KC, who is a JABS judicial member and is Sheriff Principal of South Strathclyde, Dumfries and Galloway. Denise Loney is a JABS legal member and Gareth Morgan is a JABS lay member. So that's the panel. And our current plans are to launch the competition in February 2026. So we're looking for 4 posts. The locations of these, there are 2 posts at Dumfries Sheriff Court. There is 1 covering Campbelltown and Oban, and there is a 0.5 full-time equivalent role at Lerwick Sheriff Court. Now, the role requirements for each post do vary a little, so I'll explain a little bit about that. For Dumfries Sheriff Court, there are 2 posts. One of the posts, in addition to being required to cover all areas of business, will be expected to have significant civil experience, whereas the second post holder, also covering all areas of business, will be expected to have significant criminal experience. In addition, for that role, there may be a requirement to work at other courts within the sheriffdom of South Strathclyde, Dumfries and Galloway. The expectation is that the successful candidates will reside within 1¼ hours of Dumfries Sheriff Court. So if I move on to the post covering Campbelltown and Oban Sheriff Courts, that's a floating position. So the post holder will need to cover all areas of business and will be required to sit as a single sheriff in both courts on a rotational basis. They will be based primarily in Oban and Campbelltown for perhaps 3 weeks each month, but will also be required to work 2 days a month at Lochgilphead Sheriff Court, with the remaining time being spent elsewhere in the sheriffdom of North Strathclyde as required. Most commonly, that's likely to be Dumbarton Sheriff Court. It's expected that the successful candidate for that post will reside within an hour of Oban Sheriff Court. Then at Lerwick Sheriff Court, the post there is a 0.5 full-time equivalent post and sits on a rotational basis. So we're looking there for someone who can cover all areas of business in the court. The successful candidate must reside within the sheriffdom of Grampian Highland and Islands. If they don't live in Lerwick, then arrangements for reimbursement of reasonable travel expenses could be discussed between the successful candidate and judicial office. So in terms of the process for this competition, interviews are expected to take place in May 2026, and they'll be at our offices at Thistle House in Edinburgh. And we would aim for our recommendation from the board to be sent to Scottish Government by mid-June. Judicial Institute training is expected to commence on Monday, the 31st of August, with the recommended candidates taking up the post then. We'll be assessing candidates against criteria which will be set out in a role profile document and a guidance note. And those, together with the application form, will be available when the competition launches in February. You'll be asked to provide evidence of how you meet these criteria in the application form. So over the next month, further videos will be posted on the JABS YouTube channel explaining each role in a bit more detail, and also explaining a bit more detail about the JABS application and interview process. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can send these to mailbox@jabs.gov.scot, or by completing the anonymous question form. A link for that you can find on the JABS website. Questions and answers will be made available on the JABS website, obviously with any personal details removed. So thank you for watching. The purpose of the video was to let you know that there is a competition coming up shortly, and we look forward to your application. Thank you.